Only 8 people in that restaurant knew who Bruce Lee was. The angry businessman shoving the small Asian man didn't. The dinner crowd of 60 watching from their tables didn't. The 3 waiters frozen behind the bar didn't recognize the quiet figure in simple black clothing being pushed toward the door. That was about to change. In the next 12 minutes, the aggressive businessman would learn the most painful lesson of his life. The restaurant staff would witness something they'd tell their grandchildren about. And the emergency room doctors at Santa Monica General would document injuries they'd never seen before and couldn't fully explain. This is what really happened on August 14, 1971. This is the story the witnesses never forgot. Santa Monica, California. The Golden Dragon Restaurant. Saturday evening, 7:23 p.m. The dinner rush is in full swing. Families celebrating birthdays, couples on dates, business associates wrapping up weekend deals. The restaurant is upscale but welcoming. White tablecloths, soft lighting, the smell of ginger and garlic fills the air. 60 diners enjoying their meals. Classical Chinese music plays softly through speakers. This is a good night, a normal night, until table 12 gets loud. At table 12 sits Marcus Wellington. Not his birth name. Changed it from Marcus Wojcicki to sound more sophisticated, more successful. Marcus is 42 years old, 6 feet 3 inches, 245 pounds of former college linebacker build. He made his money in commercial real estate. Strip malls, office parks, apartment complexes. He's worth $3.2 million in 1971 money. That's serious wealth. And he never lets anyone forget it. He wears his success like armor. Rolex Presidential on his wrist. Custom-tailored suit, Italian, expensive. Diamond pinky ring that catches the light. Hair perfectly styled, shoes polished to mirrors. Everything about Marcus screams money, power, status. But underneath the expensive exterior, Marcus has a problem. A personality flaw that wealth has amplified rather than corrected. He believes his success makes him superior, believes his money gives him the right to treat people however he wants. Believes service workers exist to absorb his frustration, his anger, his need to feel powerful. Tonight, he's had 4 whiskeys. His inhibitions are lowered, his temper is shorter, and his meal wasn't cooked exactly how he demanded. Marcus snaps his fingers at the waiter. A young Chinese man, maybe 23 years old, working his way through UCLA. The waiter approaches with professional courtesy. "Yes, sir. How can I help you?" Marcus doesn't look up, just points at his plate. "This is garbage. The beef is overcooked. The vegetables are undercooked. The sauce is too salty. I want it remade. Now." The waiter nods politely. "Of course, sir. I'll have the chef prepare a fresh plate immediately." "You do that. And tell your chef to learn how to cook Chinese food properly. This is embarrassing." The waiter takes the plate, maintains composure, heads to the kitchen. The other diners notice. Some look away, uncomfortable. Others watch, curious how this will play out. Marcus drains his whiskey, signals for another. His dinner companion, a business associate, tries to change the subject. "So about the property in Pasadena." Marcus waves him off. "Not now. I'm making a point here." The waiter returns 8 minutes later with a fresh plate, prepared exactly to Marcus's original specifications. "Sir, your meal, prepared fresh." Marcus doesn't even look at it, doesn't taste it, just stares at the waiter. "Took you long enough. What were you doing back there, learning to cook?" The waiter says nothing, places the plate down carefully. Marcus picks up his fork, takes one bite, and drops the fork loudly. "Still wrong, still garbage. Get me the owner." The restaurant owner appears, a dignified Chinese man in his 60s, Mr. Chen, who's run this establishment for 18 years. "Sir, I understand there's a problem. Please tell me how I can make this right." Marcus leans back, enjoying the power dynamic. "You can start by hiring a real chef. This food is insulting. I wouldn't feed this to my dog." Mr. Chen remains calm. Sir, our chef trained in Hong Kong for 12 years. He's very experienced. But if you're not satisfied, there's no charge for your meal. Please, enjoy the rest of your evening. Marcus's face reddens. Being offered a free meal isn't what he wants. He wants submission. He wants groveling. He wants to see people beneath him recognize his superiority. I don't want it free. I want an apology. From your chef. In person. Now. Mr. Chen's expression tightens slightly. Sir, my chef is busy preparing meals for 60 guests. Perhaps. I don't care what he's busy with. Get him out here or I'll make sure everyone in Santa Monica knows this restaurant serves garbage. The tension in the restaurant escalates. Other diners are fully watching now. Some are uncomfortable. A few consider leaving. This isn't dinner entertainment. This is a man abusing his power, and everyone can feel it. Mr. Chen makes a decision. He'll get the chef. Apologize to this awful man. Get him out of the restaurant. Protect his business, his reputation, his staff. But before Mr. Chen can move, a quiet voice speaks from table 7. Perhaps the problem isn't the food. Everyone turns. The voice came from a small Asian man sitting alone, wearing simple black pants and a black shirt. He looks like he's been reading a book, drinking tea, minding his own business. Marcus squints across the restaurant. What did you say? The small man looks up calmly. I said perhaps the problem isn't the food. Perhaps the problem is that you're looking for something to complain about, someone to demean, a way to feel important. The restaurant goes silent, completely silent. Even the kitchen sounds fade. No one talks to Marcus Wellington like this. No one challenges him. His wealth, his size, his presence intimidates most people into submission. Marcus stands up, all 6 feet 3 inches, 245 pounds of him. Who the hell do you think you are? The small man closes his book carefully, sets it aside, stands up. He's maybe 5 feet 7 inches, 135 pounds, wearing ordinary clothes, looking completely unremarkable. Someone who's tired of watching you bully people who can't fight back. Marcus laughs. Actually laughs. This is absurd. This tiny Asian man is challenging him. The size difference is ridiculous. Marcus outweighs him by 110 pounds, towers over him by 8 inches. This will be easy. This will be satisfying. Teach this little man a lesson in front of everyone. You got a problem with how I talk to staff? I have a problem with how you talk to people, how you treat people, how you use your size and your money to make yourself feel powerful. Marcus starts walking toward table 7. His business associate tries to stop him. Marcus, don't. It's not worth it. Marcus shakes him off. This'll take 30 seconds. He crosses the restaurant floor. Other diners pull back, giving space. Some women cover their children's eyes. This is about to get violent. Everyone can sense it. Marcus reaches table 7, stands over the small man, uses every inch of his height advantage. Last chance to apologize and mind your business. The small man doesn't flinch, doesn't step back, doesn't show any fear. I don't think I will. Marcus's hand shoots out, grabs the small man's shirt collar, 2 fistfuls of fabric, lifts him slightly. Then let me teach you something about respect. He shoves hard, expecting the small man to stumble backward, maybe fall, definitely show fear. But something happens that Marcus doesn't expect, doesn't understand, can't process. The small man doesn't stumble. Instead, as Marcus shoves, the small man moves with the force, not against it. His hands come up, touch Marcus's wrists, just lightly, and suddenly Marcus's grip is gone. Released. The small man has stepped to the side, and Marcus's own forward momentum from the shove carries him past, off balance. Marcus catches himself, spins around, face red with rage and confusion. How did this little guy just make him miss? You're going to regret that, Marcus snarls. He throws a punch, a big looping right hook. The kind of punch that's worked in every bar fight Marcus has ever been in. The kind of punch backed by 245 pounds of mass and a lifetime of getting his way through physical intimidation. The small man's head isn't there. He's moved. Just slightly. Just enough. Marcus's fist cuts through empty air where a face was supposed to be. Marcus throws another punch. Left jab this time. Trying to be faster, smarter. Again, the small man moves. Minimal movement. Economic. Precise. Marcus's punch misses by 3 inches. The small man hasn't thrown a single strike, hasn't attacked at all, just evading, making Marcus punch air. The restaurant crowd is frozen, watching something they don't understand. This little Asian man is making the huge businessman look clumsy, slow, ineffective. Marcus changes tactics. He's a former linebacker. He knows how to tackle. He lunges forward, arms spread wide, trying to grab, to grapple, to use his size and strength. The small man drops his level slightly, steps into Marcus's charge instead of away from it, and his hands shoot out. One palm to Marcus's leading elbow, one palm to Marcus's chest. Just a touch, just a redirect. Marcus's own momentum is turned against him. He spins sideways, crashes into table 9. Silverware clatters, water glasses spill, a woman screams. Marcus straightens up, breathing hard now. He's starting to realize this isn't going like he expected. This little man isn't afraid, isn't losing, isn't even fighting back, really, just making Marcus look like a fool. Marcus's pride is wounded, his ego is shattered. In front of 60 people watching, he's losing to someone half his size. He needs to hurt this guy. Prove his dominance. End this humiliation. He charges again, full linebacker charge, no technique, just rage and mass. The small man waits, calm, centered. At the last second he moves, sidesteps. His leg extends, not a kick, just placement. His foot hooks behind Marcus's ankle at precisely the moment Marcus's weight is fully committed forward. Marcus trips. His own momentum, his own charge, his own anger carries him forward and down. He crashes into the floor, hard, face first, his expensive suit scraped across carpet, his dignity scattered like the napkins falling from table 9. The restaurant gasps. This huge man just got dropped by someone who barely touched him. Marcus pushes himself up. His nose is bleeding, not broken, but bleeding. His lip is split. His pride is destroyed. He stands, wobbly, and pulls a small knife from his pocket. A gentleman's knife. Folding blade, 3 inches long. He carries it for opening boxes, cutting cigars. But right now, it's a weapon. Right now, it's his last chance to win, to dominate, to prove he's not weak. Now you're going to learn, Marcus says, blood dripping from his nose. The small man's expression changes. Before he looked calm. Now he looks disappointed. Sad, even. Put the knife away. You don't want to do this. I'm going to cut you up, you little... Marcus lunges with the knife. A wild overhead stab. Amateur. Desperate. Dangerous to bystanders more than to the target. What happens next happens so fast that most witnesses will disagree on the details. They'll argue for years about exactly what they saw, but everyone agrees on the result. The small man moves inside Marcus's knife arm. His left hand controls Marcus's wrist, gentle but absolute. His right hand strikes. Not a punch exactly, more like a push. A palm strike to Marcus's elbow. There's a sharp popping sound. Marcus screams. The knife falls. His arm hangs at an unnatural angle. His elbow is dislocated. Completely. Cleanly. Non-lethally, but absolutely devastatingly. Marcus drops to his knees, cradling his arm, tears streaming down his face. Not from the pain alone, though that's excruciating. From the humiliation. From the absolute domination. From the realization that he picked a fight he couldn't possibly win with someone he couldn't possibly beat. The small man steps back, gives Marcus space, turns to Mr. Chen. Perhaps call for an ambulance. One of the diners, a doctor having dinner with his wife, rushes over, looks at Marcus's arm, looks at the small man. Did you do this? He pulled a knife. The doctor examines the injury. This is a perfect posterior elbow dislocation. Clean. No fracture. Whoever did this knew exactly what they were doing. Knew the anatomy, the angles, the force required. This is surgical precision. The small man says nothing. Just returns to his table, picks up his book, sits down. His tea is still warm. His posture is relaxed. He looks like a man who just finished a minor errand, not someone who just disabled a man twice his size. The other 7 people in the restaurant who recognized him from the beginning exchange glances. They knew. They tried to tell their dinner companions. That's Bruce Lee, the guy from the TV show, the Kung Fu master. No one believed them. Until now. The ambulance arrives 11 minutes later. Paramedics load Marcus onto a stretcher. He's still crying, still cradling his arm. His business associate follows, shaking his head. The expensive suit is ruined. The Rolex is scuffed. The diamond ring is still there, but it doesn't shine the same. Money can't fix what just broke in Marcus Wellington. Not his elbow. His understanding of power. At Santa Monica General Hospital, 8:47 p.m., emergency room staff examine Marcus. Dr. Patricia Morrison, ER attending, studies the x-rays, consults with Dr. Raymond Torres, the orthopedic specialist on call. I've never seen a dislocation this clean, Dr. Morrison says. No associated fracture, no nerve damage, no vascular compromise, just perfect posterior displacement. Who did this? Torres asks. According to the patient, a small Asian man half his size, one strike, defending himself from a knife attack. Torres examines Marcus's arm again, studies the injury pattern. This wasn't a lucky hit. This was applied biomechanics. Whoever did this understood leverage, joint anatomy, force vectors. This is martial arts mastery. They reduce the dislocation, reset the joint, immobilize the arm in a sling. Marcus will recover fully in 8 to 12 weeks. No permanent damage, except to his ego. That might never heal. Dr. Morrison writes in her notes, patient sustained posterior elbow dislocation in altercation. Mechanism of injury suggests highly trained opponent with precise anatomical knowledge. Most controlled use of force I've observed in 15 years of emergency medicine. The person who did this could have caused permanent damage, but chose not to. Back at the Golden Dragon restaurant, Mr. Chen approaches table 7. The small man is drinking tea, reading his book like nothing happened. Mr. Lee, Mr. Chen says quietly, thank you, but you didn't have to intervene. Bruce Lee looks up. He was hurting your people, your staff, your business. Someone had to say something. You know him? Marcus Wellington? He's powerful, rich, connected. He could make trouble. He's already making trouble. That's why I said something. Mr. Chen sits down. Your meal is on the house. Forever. Anytime you want to eat here, no charge. That's not necessary. Yes, it is. You stood up for my people when no one else would. You protected my staff without seriously hurting that man, even though he tried to hurt you. That's honor. That's character. That deserves respect. Bruce closes his book. I just did what needed to be done. Nothing more, nothing less. The other diners slowly return to their meals. The tension breaks. Conversations resume. But everyone is still processing what they witnessed. Their brains are trying to reconcile the size difference, the violence, the outcome. How did that small man defeat that huge man so easily? How did he control the fight so completely? How did he disable someone with one strike without causing permanent damage? One diner, a local journalist named Robert Yamashita, approaches Bruce's table. Mr. Lee, I recognize you from the Green Hornet. Can I ask what happened here tonight? Bruce sighs. He doesn't like publicity, doesn't like attention. He just wanted a quiet dinner. But he also knows this story will spread regardless. Better to control the narrative. A man was being cruel to restaurant staff. I asked him to stop. He chose violence. I chose defense. That's all. But how did you do it? He was twice your size. Size doesn't matter when you understand principles. Leverage matters. Timing matters. Using your opponent's force against them matters. I didn't overcome his strength. I redirected it. Can you teach that? I teach it every day. But it takes years to master, years of practice, years of understanding your body, your opponent, the physics of combat. Yamashita writes in his notebook, "This'll be quite a story. Please don't sensationalize it. That man needed to learn a lesson, but he doesn't need his life destroyed. He has an injury. He has embarrassment. That's enough." You're worried about the guy who attacked you? I'm worried about balance. I hurt him enough to stop him, not enough to ruin him. That's the martial artist's responsibility, to use minimum force necessary, nothing more. The journalist nods, understanding something deeper. This isn't about fighting, it's about philosophy, about responsibility, about power used correctly. The next day, a small article appears in the Santa Monica Observer. Local martial arts instructor defends restaurant staff from aggressive diner. It's 4 paragraphs. Factual. Minimal sensationalism. But the story spreads anyway. By word of mouth. Restaurant patrons telling friends. Hospital staff describing the impossible injury. The businessman's associates asking what really happened. Marcus Wellington doesn't press charges, doesn't sue, doesn't seek revenge. He recovers physically in 10 weeks. His arm works perfectly, no permanent damage. But something changed in him, something fundamental. For 42 years, Marcus used his size, his money, his presence to dominate people, to feel powerful, to prove his superiority. In 12 minutes, a man half his size made him feel completely powerless, made him understand that real power isn't about muscles or money. It's about skill, control, discipline, wisdom. 6 months later, Marcus walks into a martial arts school in Los Angeles. Not Bruce Lee's school. He doesn't presume that level of access, but a traditional kung fu school. He bows respectfully to the instructor. "I'd like to learn, if you'll have me." The instructor, a 5th-degree black belt in Wing Chun, recognizes the name, recognizes the humility, recognizes the genuine desire to change. "Why do you want to study martial arts?" "Because I learned that being big doesn't make you strong, being rich doesn't make you powerful, and hurting people doesn't make you important. I want to understand real strength, real power, real discipline." The instructor nods. "That's a good reason. We train Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 a.m. Don't be late." Marcus shows up Tuesday, 5:45 a.m., and Thursday, 5:45 a.m. For 3 years, he trains, loses 60 pounds, builds real strength, not bulk, learns humility, discipline, respect. His business associates notice the change. His employees notice the change. He starts treating people with dignity, with kindness, the way he should have all along. At the Golden Dragon restaurant, Mr. Chen frames a photo, not of Bruce Lee. Bruce wouldn't allow that, but a photo of his staff, the waiter who Marcus demeaned, the chef Marcus insulted, the owner Marcus threatened, people who faced cruelty with dignity, people who were defended by someone who understood that true strength protects the weak. The photo hangs behind the bar, a reminder. The 8 people who recognized Bruce Lee that night. They told their friends, showed them the Green Hornet episodes, explained who Bruce Lee was, what he represented. The friends watched. Some were intrigued. Some became students. Bruce's Los Angeles school gained 14 new students directly from the Golden Dragon incident. People who wanted to learn not just how to fight, but how to be, how to stand up, how to protect, how to use force responsibly. Years later, Bruce Lee would become internationally famous. Martial arts legend, cultural icon, philosopher, teacher. But for those 8 witnesses, for the Golden Dragon staff, for the emergency room doctors, Bruce Lee was already all those things on August 14, 1971. The night a small man in black clothing stood up to a bully. The night precision defeated power. The night martial arts mastery was demonstrated not in a tournament or a movie, but in defense of people who couldn't defend themselves. The lesson Marcus Wellington learned that night. The lesson the witnesses carried forever. The lesson the hospital staff documented in medical notes. Real power isn't about dominating others. It's about controlling yourself. Real strength isn't about winning every fight. It's about choosing which fights matter. And the most dangerous opponent is never the biggest, the loudest, the richest. It's the one who's mastered themselves so completely that they need neither intimidation nor violence to prove their worth. They simply are. And when forced to act, they act with precision, control, and minimum necessary force. 8 witnesses who knew, 60 who learned, 1 who taught, and 1 whose arm would heal in 10 weeks, but whose understanding of strength was shattered and rebuilt in 12 minutes. August 14, 1971. The Golden Dragon Restaurant. The night respect was earned. The night humility was taught. The night Bruce Lee reminded everyone watching that true martial arts mastery isn't about hurting people. It's about protecting people, even sometimes protecting the aggressor from themselves.